my name is Comedy K9, and this is my wonderful survival world I've been playing in on and off since about 2021. I'd love to show it to you, so why don't we do just that? And don't mind him up there, he's been there a while and, well, he hasn't complained yet, so let's get on with it. Before we do, I have a list of things I'd like to change around here. I haven't played this world since probably 2022, so there are some old things here that I would love to change. So we're not just going to talk about what I've done and where I'm at the moment, but where I'd like to be in the future and what I would like to do. So if that sounds fun to you, well, let's go. So we make our start right here on my starter island. And you might say, how is this a starter island? Well, this came much later. I've been working on this thing the past couple days. It's probably Christmas Eve, so it is much newer. On this island, when it was first created back in probably 1.17 in 2021, it was full of trees, wonderful, luscious trees, before I came here and demolished them. I came to this world for two specific reasons, which you will soon see. So, once I got here, I left rather quickly, cut down a tree, and made my way east over the vast ocean. What? What we are currently coming up on is one of my later projects after I defeated the Ender Dragon back in good old 2021. So let's make, well, a stop here and give it a look. If you don't recognize it already, what this is what this was the start of a proper Guardian farm. I quite like building with prismarine and sea lanterns. I think they look quite lovely. And, well, the source of XP would have been nice. But as you can see, not much happened since. This is sort of endemic of a lot of things in this world. I'll start something cool and then never finish it. So on my little list of goals here is actually putting something here. A Guardian farm would be nice, but I don't know, maybe I want to build a city or something here. I quite like how I left pretty much no walls here, with the corners of glass just being needed to hold the water back, but perhaps there's a better way of doing that. It's just the best way I thought of back then. So let's jump down and just take a little closer look. Down here, I just think it looks so cool, personally. Much cooler than if I had put some sort of sand or stone brick wall up around the place. I initially used sand just to block off the water. Used probably a conduit to mine down the, what's-it-call-it, ocean monument down to its bare foundations, before using some slime block flying machines, which I thankfully still have some screenshots of, to completely clear out all of the water. And that's just one of my, I don't know, proudest moments on this world. It just looked really cool. But unfortunately, you weren't there to see it. But hey, so let's add to this. So in my Guardian hole, actually build something there. A Guardian farm would be nice. Haven't really had a go at building a farm of my own design. A lot of the designs on this world are made by other people, but perhaps that might be a fun challenge to actually try. Given how many of those I have built over the years, I might be able to cobble something together through osmosis or something. So Let's head back up and continue on our way. Won't be needing you much longer. It was likely somewhere on this lovely beach where the sun is rising overhead where I first made landfall. And if I quickly move this camera, you'll see why I decided to move here. It's just stunning, especially for pre-Caves and Cliffs generation. I was drawn to it. This is one of the main reasons I started here. So, let's go. Back then, I believe I made my way on foot over to the foot of this mountain before walking around and choosing this little corner to settle in. It really is quite humble here. With this, well, pretty much useless egg farm that I never use for anything else. A nice, completely shallow water well. It's 2x2 though, so it's infinite, of course. And my little, humble starter house. Oh, try and get in. There we go. This is likely where I spent either the second or third night here. In the safety of this tiny little shack. But, yeah. I think it looks quite nice, for what it's worth. Back here I have a little cake station with a mechanical table. Carrot farm. And there used to be a few more things. There used to be sheep here, a wheat farm there, but no, I just removed the sheep, but I relocated the wheat farm. Down here are 2 houses my sisters built when I was playing with them once. This world is predominantly my own, but sometimes it's fun to play with other people, you know. For the record, I have no clue where that ladder goes or what it's for. It's just there. It doesn't really go anywhere. Nope. Just like the Guardian farm, we see more evidence of my own indecision here. For the longest time, this place has just been a cave. A grey, monotone cave. Around when the first part of the Caves and Cliffs came out, I did try and start decorating it, but clearly I did not finish. There used to be a lot more chests and clutter around here, but I've been recently making an effort to try and clean it up. Down here, we can see the second reason I chose to settle here is this wonderful skeleton spawner that is really close to the surface. So it is a really standard design. Just some water streaming the skeletons down and up over there, but it was nice. It's really, really nice for early game XP and enchanting, which I have right here with an automated dispenser right where you are. See if I can get the lever. So it's quite nice. Here is also where I store my sort of, what do you call it? End trinkets, like my dragon egg right here, dragon head over there. It's a little magical corner. It's little touches like this that I really want to bring to more. I want to bring more of this into my world because a lot of it is, well, either pure. Most of it's purely functional, or just has sort of a half-done exterior or interior. So I'd love to start finishing stuff. Out of anything, that is probably what I want to do first, is go around to places like this and finish them. Actually finish them, instead of starting 100 new things. Over here is some more sort of early-ish game clutter. I don't even remember why I got nether wart, probably to make some potions or something. Here is a villager breeder from, I think, Logical Geek Boy. It's a wonderful design, still works great. I've since built a second one, a little bit further away, so I'm kind of considering just completely getting rid of it, because it really does block out the space and kind of limits what I can do here. Especially because I built it right next to my spider spawner. Not spider, skeleton spawner. So I'm considering removing this and making a proper portal room here. Or perhaps moving in some more stonemasons and getting them out of this... armorers, sorry. And getting them out of this little 1x2 hole they're in. Speaking of those armorers, I do have a few farms out here. The two main ones being an iron farm over here. I believe this is a Nembon design. It's quite wonderful. I've built it several times and it still works perfectly. As well as this Ilmango cobblestone generator. These are, again, purely functional. I quite like how they look with just the glass and whatnot, especially with continuity, making them nice and smooth. I don't really have much to say about them. I think in terms of improvement, I would not just for completing the aesthetic look of it, but also just functionally. Down here is the quite ugly storage room to my skeleton spawner, and they have since added crafters. So I would like to experiment with them a little bit and turn these bones into bone blocks. Maybe do something with the 100 million bows I've got here, or maybe smelt down this armor, craft stuff with it. Could be fun to experiment with. Likewise, the iron farm desperately needs some filters, as well as a crafter to make iron blocks. Because, don't mind those chests, that's from something else. It is just full and full of poppies that I tend to not use. Moving down this hallway, we find my super smelter, which is fantastic, but is just built in this really claustrophobic space, such that you can see this ceiling right above me completely blocks the input chest right up at the top. So I would probably like to push this ceiling out a bit and open up the space. Yeah, let me show you. So right here, this chest just feels way too close to this ceiling. I didn't really consider when I built this how it would look in this space, which is evident. It probably would be good to close this ceiling up, push this out, maybe push these stairs back, maybe out a balcony or something, just to make this space more open. Because while this doesn't hamper accessibility, it could look a lot nicer. Here is also where I've built a minecart track heading to the second area that I built in, but we'll get back to this. Heading upwards, here is another of these wonderful little trinkets I've built. As useless as they are, I always love interacting with them, and it's things like that that really make a world come to life. Simple bedroom, nothing fancy. Every bedroom needs 2 clocks, of course. Simple wheat farm, simple sugarcane farm. I used to have a very inhumane cow breeder here, but I've since learned from my ways and improved that. And now all we have left is a, well, was useless for a while, wheat farm, but now I use it to make mud and make packed dirt using mud. Here is the control room for my cobblestone generator. Just love how it looks from up here. There is not nearly enough storage here to keep up with demand. These hoppers get filled pretty much instantly. I should probably add more, but frankly, I don't need that much cobblestone right now. One of my favorite features I implemented was, well, because I didn't include enough hoppers, and I didn't want cobblestone backing up, as it goes around, it comes up this way, and is ejected out the side of the mountain, back down the middle, where it can go around and around and around. It will slowly build up over time until the old blocks start despawning, but hey, doesn't need to be perfectly efficient. Up this way is a wonderful tree farm I made. I forget who the design is from. I'll probably have to look it up. But I think it does oak trees, spruce trees, acacia trees, and 1x1 jungle trees, which is more than enough for my needs at the moment. I would quite like to build some new tree farms on my own, maybe using whatchamacallit? The new I say new, not really new anymore. Azalea trees, because those can be done fully automatically without me needing to plant anything. I would also love to farm the new pale oak and cherry trees and stuff. I don't know if cherry trees will work in this, but well, I suppose I could grow one and try. Again, another one of these half-finished areas. This here is just to actually use the tree farm. So, as discussed, a lot of things are quite unfinished in this area. And this is really the main things I want to do. I want to finish the interior. I want to sort of update it a bit. It's very stone bricky, but I kind of like that. I might leave the stone bricky areas, it's sort of like a historical relic, and decorate the bottom floor in I don't know, a way that's nicer on the eyes. I need auto crafters for my bones and iron, and I might remove my villager breeder. I think on top of that, I'll probably add, what did I say? Space in smelter. Yeah, I'll know what that means. So, this is pretty much it for this base area around here, where I spent most of my time on this world. So, let's head back down to that train line next to the smelter and ride it out to see where it goes. I believe the train line was the main reason I actually made a tree farm and a cobblestone farm in the first place, and it should become evident when we actually ride it. As you can see, every single, I think every 8, I don't know how many blocks, there's a log pillar, nice little overhang, hanging a light on there. What it's also doing is disguising the levers I have, sort of. Just makes it look nice. I've got fire tick off in this world, so that fire will be burning forever. It's just a feature at this point. Well, I turn it on and off periodically, so some of that stuff is destroyed. Partly. Here we go. Let's get rid of this rain. Oh yeah, if you would like to seed, there you go. But this was all generated at different times, so good luck. trying to get the same world. This stuff out here is more modern. I want to say 22 or 23 I built this. Both of these builds are inspired by ones I did on a friend's multiplayer world. It contains my current villager breeder. It's the same design as the one back at base, but it just is a little bit differently organized, but it all works in exactly the same way. It's very undecorated in here, but it's a very unglamorous building. I initially went to this area, and this train line was built before these buildings were, just to get to the new 1 point whatever blocks, like Amethyst, Deep Slate, and all that. So before looking at these buildings, that second one, I first came up to here, right here, I think it was. Oh, here we go. Set up a little dispenser, tunneled all the way down. Well, as far as I could at the beginning. When I tunneled this was all bedrock. Was it? Might have been. No, it must. Yeah. The way this is generated, it kind of looks like bedrock in some places, but as the world has since been updated, there's a whole new world under there. Lava, and this is how I got my deep slate for when I initially decorated that space. And over here is my first amethyst geode. But getting back on track, this little warehouse is something I used to like, but not really anymore. It's just where I store the villages for every single book in the game. Well, everything except Soul Speed and Swift Sneak, and whatever else they add through exploring. I used to like it, but frankly, I'm a bit over the villager hall. I am thinking out here, I would kind of like to build a library to put these guys in. It would be more annoying to use, but frankly, I'm not buying books that often. This isn't a multiplayer world, I'm not selling them or anything. So I'd love to have like a big library here. You could think, I don't know, serving the local villages around here. Could be really cool. And this here is my first horse, Gilbert. He used to live back down that way, but then didn't really do much. So this is a little retirement home out here. And now, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember why I did this, I dug a little canal through here. I don't remember why I did it, but it's here. And it connects to, well, these villages and such. Just another one of those things. So, what do I actually want with this area? I kind of want to make it less, I don't know, robotic. Like, villager trade halls are, the most optimal way to keep them, in a 1x1 box so they don't go anywhere, but I don't know. I'm not trying to play in the most optimal way here. I think out here I would really love to have a library to keep those villagers in, and maybe more sort of thematically appropriate buildings, like a blacksmith. You could put your toolsmiths and armorers in, or I don't know, other buildings like that. So I would make the buildings more. Yeah, there we go. Make the buildings more thematically appropriate, because right now they're just sort of shells to store stuff in, and not much else. So, let's go head back to the main base. I'll save you the trip. As much as I love minecarts, they just take ages. Always have. So, back in my little base here, one thing I glossed over were these maps right here. And I love these maps. I cannot tell for the life of me what's going on, but right here This specifically reminded me that I had animal pens and a wheat farm out there. Without them, I just wouldn't have known a thing. And they really nicely show progress, as in that portal is just no longer there. I removed it. I didn't like how it looked. And one other thing you might see is these buildings here. These two are two farms that I did before I got the elytra to, well, help me defeat him. So let's fly out and have a quick look. So in this area, I just love how the terrain looks. And I would really love to do more building out here. I have always wanted to build a castle in Minecraft, like a castle town, but I just never have. I've just never had it in me to do it, and this seems like the perfect spot, somewhere around here. It is building a castle is something I would love to do. Out of rockets. A rocket dispenser might be fun, like my pork one. Out here we can see some of the consequences of the new generation. When the new generation released, I culled a bunch of the chunks from my world so I could bring them a bit closer. And here is one of the consequences of doing that. The terrain looks really kind of funky around here, and for whatever reason, this village spawned up in the sky, and it is probably my most favorite village, or most favorite, just favorite. When you already say favorite, you mean most favorite, but I love this village, and I would love to do a little bit more with it before all the villagers fall off and die. Build a couple little fences, bridges, stuff all around, because I just love this place. But back on track. These over here were built before I had an elytra, which you can see evident through this giant ladder. This gunpowder farm was for two things. It was one for rockets, one that I eventually got my elytra, but the main thing I wanted it for was for TNT, so I could make this. Now, this is a slime farm, and it is before they spawned massively in the swamp under dark conditions. So this was made at what used to be the world floor. So I filled in this whole box with sand dug up from over there, which used to be a desert before I deleted those chunks. I used TNT to mine up all the sand, fill up this hole, and then dig it out again using TNT. I've got some wonderful screenshots of that as well I can share. And this is again, I think, a design taken from someone, same as the creeper farm. Can't remember who, see if I can credit them somehow in the description or whatever. But it's a straightforward slime farm, as you used to have to make them. But since the caves and cliffs has come out and extended my world below it, it's completely ruined the rates, and I need to go around and light up more of these caves, because the AFK spot does cover them. Though I could probably move it up a little bit higher, that might help. But, that's a tomorrow problem. I have plenty of slime. But let's head back to where we started, to my current project, when I picked up this world again shortly before Christmas. Here we are. This is one of my favorite builds I have ever done. I just really love how it's coming along. I might do a whole video on it when it's properly finished, but currently I'm loving how the exposed redstone looks. It looks like a circuit board with the combination of the dark grey, or sort of the greyish tones, with the white and the red popping out. I just love it. So, as you might have guessed, This is my automated storage system, which I have been needing to build for ages. The intention behind building it was to have just access to every reasonable block in the game that I can just then go and build with. Like, for instance, here's all the stony blocks organized, laid out, and without an automated system like this, I can get very lazy with my storage. Chests going everywhere, as you can start seeing out here. Chests going everywhere instead of in here. So we've got a dispenser. It dispenses our items up into the cobwebs, so they may get collected into bigger stacks. That then travels up this little column here, gets aligned against the chest, and then starts making its like 2-3 minute journey along the entire way. So this is definitely not the fastest way you could build a storage system, but it's just the way I know and understand, and I didn't really want to look up a guide, and I kind of like it. Some of the main issues are it takes a while, and if you leave, for whatever reason, everything here despawns, unless I have some sort of chunk loader, like using an ender pearl or with portals. So I'm considering building one of those here in the future. I need to go and finish setting all the filters. That is as big of a job as just building the thing in the first place. I have most of this bottom floor set out, but you can see there are clearly empty spaces, and most of the top floor is also completely empty. Oh, other than this one. Like down this way in my functional block hole, mostly empty, and this one is here is just completely empty. So this is my current project that I've been chipping away at the past few days. Or past few weeks, I should say. But yeah. Just, I'm just really happy with how the central area turned out. I was quite unsure about it, but I love the glass dome allowing you to peer inside and see the workings of it. Because it seems such a shame to always cover up redstone, because it has its own beauty in a way. So, this is my current project. What actually needs to keep getting finished? Well, this hill I'm standing on needs to go. It is just kind of in the way and blocks off this right wing here from being seen. I need to properly finish off this exterior. As you see, it's just full of chests and other garbage everywhere. It would be lovely to have a nice manicured garden and maybe an underwater path linking it back to my base. That would be quite nice, I would say. And well, priority number one is to finish the filters. It's done in terms of functionality, but if I don't set the filters, I can't use it. So I just need to finish the filters, remove the hill, get some exterior landscaping. And one thing I forgot to add is that these... Oh, let me fix that. Wings currently don't have a lot of structure to them. They are just completely free form and floating. So I'd like to probably add some pillars along the way and sort of come up with a way to make it not look like it's just floating over the ocean. Some sort of strong pillars going in to sort of look like it's being held up, but this is still a current work in progress, as you can see with the copper still needing to age. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little world tour. It was wonderful bringing you around to come and have a little look around. It's been something I've been wanting to get off my chest a little while. I've been working on it quite a bit. Don't know how much I'll keep working on it, but hey, we'll see. This little book will give me a little list of tasks to do, so if I ever, put the world down again, I can come back and know exactly what needs to be done. Well, that's all I got to say, so, well, have a nice day.